All right, here we go. And this is a video to show you how to find the most relevant chapters for a word study using Logos. And I'm Nate from freshgroundtheology.com. And this whole video, everything, I'll put a link in the YouTube page and at freshgroundtheology.com. You go there, I'll have a couple examples posted, and you can go look at the data. So, how do you find the most relevant chapters, especially for words that occur tons of times in the Old Testament? You don't just want to, start going one by one all the way through the words, because that might get a little tedious. You'll have a lot of hits that just, it's mentioned in passing, but not really relevant for what you're talking about. So, how do you actually find the relevant passages, save you some time? This is what I want to show you in this video. So you need to open Logos. I got Logos 8. Click on search here, open search panel. It'll open something that looks like this. Now you can choose any of your Hebrew Bibles. Lexham Hebrew Bible, I think, comes with most packages. Anderson Forbes is another good one. I'm just going to use Lexham Hebrew Bible because it's pretty good. That's put out by Logos pretty much. I've also narrowed my search range to Psalms. So if you just type Psalms right here, it'll pop up, you hit enter, and basically this will restrict the search to Psalms. I'm doing this for a couple of reasons, but I want to see which psalm or psalms have the highest concentration or the highest probability of containing a discussion on a particular word. Now, I'm going to choose the word goy, which is usually translated nation, or in the plural, goyim, nations. And let's see, we'll do just a basic search. So, lemma, and then, let's see, we'll transliterate it roughly to GUY. There it is on top. Goy, hit enter. All right, so we've got 58 verses, 61 results. So some pretty good data to work with. Not too much. You can do it with more data, but not too much, not too little. So how do we do this? Now, if you want to work through one at a time, you can. But like I said, you'll probably hit a bunch of Psalms where it's just mentioned, but it's not really discussed. And we want to see if we can find a few Psalms that really talk about nations. So go over here to this data thing, looking bar, or find where it says graph Bible search results. Now what you're looking at is the default setting, which graphs number of results in book. And obviously, since we only searched one book, it's only going to show us one book. So we actually want to change it. If you go up here to the corner and click on number of results in chapter. So this will break it off into each psalm. Now if you notice, Psalm 9, Psalm 79, Psalm 106 both have 5 hits. Now, first off, we may think, oh, those psalms have the most discussion about the nations. Well, problem is, especially Psalm 106, it's a really long psalm. And so, yeah, it has a lot of hits, but it's also a really long psalm, so it could just been mentioned in passing 5 times. So what people have developed is, okay, we want to put all the psalms on the same par, an equal number of pars. So we want to do it like per 1,000 words in each chapter. So if we just kind of average it out, so how many hits per 1,000 words, what would that look like? So we'll go to that. So we'll go to results in chapter over 1,000 words in chapter. Click on that thing. All of a sudden we get a different picture. Now this is what's called concentration. And we notice Psalm 117, man, that just blows the charts out. So for every 1,000 words, the word nation occurs, 55, almost 60 times. Now the problem with that is, we all know, Psalm 117 is the shortest chapter in the Bible. And so, yeah, it's going to show like ridiculously high concentration because there's only so many words in that chapter. So this doesn't really help us too much either, because we could go to Psalm 117, but it's probably not going to give us a ton of data on on the nations or the goy. So what we want to do is average the number of hits with the concentration in each chapter. Say what? Let me show you how to do this. All right, first we got to export these results. So go over here to the corner. I think in older versions is on the other side over here. Print export. Okay, we'll want to send to a new document. So I'm going to just choose Microsoft Excel here. Wait a minute, there it goes, pops up. Click on it. Yep. All right, so here are all the results. And this is giving me concentration. All right. Go back here. Let's go to number of hits. So we got this page again. Export. Now instead of sending to a new document, let's just paste into an open document. Hit that button. Wait a few minutes. Sometimes there's a little status bar that shows up right here. Not in this case, but let's see here. Okay, I'm gonna go there, and there's everything that shows up. Okay, now what you want to do, select all these results. Hit Control C. Okay, oop, I didn't quite get it that time. Select everything, hit Control C, get the little dotted lines that dance. Go over here, and in column E, just hit Control V. So all we did was just move the data so it's all in the same sheet. Okay. Now, first off, this gets a little tedious, but we got to put all these numbers on the same page. Because see, if you just sorted, now let me show you what happens if you just sort by largest to smallest. Excel messes this whole thing up. So we're just going to sort. See, it puts Psalm 10 because it begins with 1 on the top, but then we got Psalm 2 down here. So I'm just going to hit Control Z. We need to solve that problem, because we got 3 digits. We need to put 2 zeros there, 2 zeros there, and then the rest of these get a single zero. And since I'll just get through the rest of this. But you get the idea. It's kind of tedious. I'm sure one of you out there could write a macro that does this, but I'm not super great at writing macros. And if you have no idea what a macro is, just, don't worry about it. All right, almost there. Okay. Now, I don't want to do that twice, so all we got to do, ignore the man behind the curtain. All right. All we got to do, select that column, Control C, since these are the same, so 2, 9, okay, yeah. Just hit it there. We just have to do it once. All right. Next step. Select all this. Hit, where did it? Format as table. Okay, table does not have headers. Click OK. All right, and we go over here. And for whatever reason, that cell messed up, but we know it's number 9, so we'll put that back. Select this data again. Format as table, does not have headers. All right, we're good there. Now, on column 2, we want to go largest to smallest in both these columns. Largest to smallest. Now we get to rank these. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you see both of these are 20, so we both want to give these a number 5 ranking, since they're right in a row. And then after this, all the numbers are different. So we just select those 2 columns. We can drag and drop, and it'll automatically add them all up there for us. Now for this side, we want to 1, but see we got like 5, we got 3 5s in a row, so each of those get a number 1 ranking, and these get a number 2 seed, and number 2s get a number 3 seed here, and there we go, and then all these get number 4 seeds. Okay, because they just mention it one time and move on. All right, what's the next step? Now we want to average these two rankings. So here's what we do. You go over here and you just select one of those columns, and we're going to make another table. So we'll just drop it over here. Okay. Now, I'm going to type in a little bit of a code here. I'm going to post this particular document on my website, so you can go there and look at this code. It's just a function, really. It's not even really code. It's just a VLOOKUP for those of you who know what I'm talking about. And here we go. So you put in the equal sign, type in V, lookup, parenthetical. Okay, lookup value, that'd be the Psalm right there. Okay, comma, table array. Now we want to select this first table, so we're just going to select all the columns A, B, and C. Okay, column index. So we've got 1, 2, 3, the third column over. We want to pull every number from that column, so we hit number 3. And we want an exact match, so we just choose false. And then close parentheses. Now, plus again. Okay. And we're going to do another VLOOKUP because we want to look at the other table. So VLOOKUP. Okay, lookup value. So we want to look at Psalm 9 again. Table array, that's E through G. Another comma, column index. Again, it's the third column over. Range lookup, just type in false. Now we want the average. So here's how we do that. Type in one more parenthetical. Put a divided sign there, 2. Okay. Now if you go back to the beginning, I forgot to put a parenthetical here, so put a parenthetical at the very beginning. And what you'll end up with, it'll add the number, so number 9 from this column, and it'll look for number 9 over here in this column, which you see is the ranking number 3. It'll add it together and then divide by 2. So we got it's ranked 3 here, it's ranked number 1 here, so we should expect 4 divided by 2, which is 2, in case you're wondering. I may be in theology, but I can still do math. All right, so we got a ranking in number 2. All right, drag and drop all the way down. It'll copy the formula all the way down for you, and it'll give you the rankings for each one of those chapters that has the word goy in it. Let's format one more table. No headers, boom, columns, yay. Now we want to find the best ones out there, so we're going to do smallest to largest. And there we go. Our top chapters that we want to look at are chapters 79, 9, 117, 2, and we can throw in 46, okay? And usually about the first 10 give you the highest probability that you'll find something talking about in those chapters. Let's pop over here. Let's go back to Logos for a second and find let's look at Psalm 79. Actually, I've already got it pulled up here. Okay, so I'll pull that out there. First off, oh God, the nations have invaded your inheritance. They, all referring back to nations. They referring back to nations. For they have devoured Jacob. So this psalm seems like it's talking about the nations. And then again, down here, verse 10, the nations cry out. That happens to be the translation of that particular word. All the way through. So we see, yeah, Psalm 79 has a lot to say about the nation. So, that one worked out pretty good. What other Psalms we got here? Psalm 9. Let's go look that one up. Let's see. I got enemies. We don't have nations yet. You rebuke the nations. Okay. So we got some stuff here. We got peoples. That's a related word. Declare among the peoples. Another thing. So we got a couple of hits here. Not a ton. So like I said, it's this just gives you a probability of what you'll find. Number 4, if I remember right, was Psalm 2, which, if you know, talks a lot about the nations, the peoples devising again a vain thing. So yeah, this psalm has a lot to say about the nations and about the kings of the nations. So that was a pretty good ranking. We'll look up Psalm 117 just for fun here. Yeah, see, it's directly addressing all the nations of the earth. And it doesn't give us a ton of information about the relationship between Israel and the other nations, but, you know, it does give us some. You say this is kind of a missional psalm if you want. So there you go. That's how you figure out which psalms talk about, in this case, psalms talk about Goy the most. Now, I did a complete word study on this, and I'll post this along with this Excel doc on my website, freshgroundtheology.com. I'll try to leave a link down there in my on the YouTube page so you can look at it there. And there you go. If you have any questions, I got a contact page, freshgroundtheology.com. You go there, hit me up. I'll try to get back with you. I've got some other ideas up my sleeve, but this is kind of a basic one. I hope you enjoy.